Why is ICP right now trying to go after the cloud, which is a $1 trillion revenue industry? In today's update, as first, we are going to talk about this very important tweet from the man himself, Mr. Dominic Williams, and then we are going to go on the live chart and see what is going on and is it possible for ICP to actually have a bit of a move on the upside, hopefully starting soon. And I'm going to tell you what is it that you need to actually pay attention if you want to see a good move on the upside. So with all that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And recently I came across this very important tweet, and when Dominic asked why is ICP going after the cloud, it's very important to note that he's not necessarily talking about competing with something like AWS the usual way that people are thinking about. No, he's actually saying that the whole idea of cloud computing is about to change big time. You see, at the moment, software is built in the old way. Humans write the code, rent servers from Amazon or maybe Google, and then they're going to configure databases, security, firewalls, and then finally keep every single thing running. It is very much expensive. Also, it is quite slow and I would say completely dependent on specific people. Now, Dominic's vision in here is quite different. You see, in the future, software won't really be written by teams of developers. No, it will most likely be written by AI, and I would argue maybe even to a good degree, even right now, it is mostly written by AI. And basically in the future, you're gonna type something like, for example, I don't know, maybe let's say, build me a website for my bakery and accept crypto payments, and the AI writes the code almost instantly. And this is actually right now, at least, a beautiful example of what Caffeine AI has to offer. Now, here's the key question for you. Where does that code actually live? Because AI cannot really open an AWS account. It cannot use a credit card. It is also absolutely not able to set up servers or manage infrastructure. It needs a place where the code can just exist and run without permission or setup. And that, my friends, is exactly what Dominic Williams means by saying a canvas, and that canvas is actually ICP, because on ICP, applications run as canisters. A canister is not a tiny smart contract like the ones that we are having on Ethereum. No, in here, in case of ICP, the meaning of a canister is a little bit different, because canister inside ICP is essentially like a full software unit, and it holds the code, the data, and even the website itself. So when the code is deployed, ICP automatically handles the servers, meaning you're not really going to need any provisioning, you're not going to need any DevOps, you're not going to need any cloud dashboards, and the program just simply runs. And this matters for artificial intelligence, because an AI agent actually is able to hold ICP and pay for compute on its own. So ICP in here is basically the only cloud that an artificial intelligence is able to use autonomously. Now, another very important piece in here is data persistence. You see, on traditional systems, developers must manually save data to databases, and if something crashes at the wrong time, unfortunately, that data is pretty much gone forever. Now, on ICP, the story is different, because the program's memory is automatically saved, meaning every single thing persists by default. You can turn everything up, turn it back on, and nothing is going to be lost. And the smart contract memory is actually the database for you in here. And this feature, by the way, I forgot to tell you, it's very important to understand that is already live and you can actually use this feature. So this, my friends, is why Dominic is reframing ICP not as a crypto project, but as a serverless cloud built for artificial intelligence written software. Now, in my view, if in the mid to long term, we are going to be quite successful in this direction, I think we are looking at some big price appreciations for ICP. And basically in the mid to long term, not necessarily the short term, if you want to know what's next in the coming, let's say, days and weeks, I think you are better off getting help from technical analysis and mainly my field of works, Elliott waves. But overall, I think this is actually like a very bullish catalyst for ICP. Why is that? Because you see, in my view, this idea actually completely changes how big ICP's opportunity really is. Because if ICP was just another crypto, okay, its market would be quite limited to the crypto space. But if this vision is going to work, and hopefully it is going to work in the mid to long term, okay, ICP is gonna go after the global cloud market, which already generates, again, according to this tweet, over $1 trillion every single year, and that is going to change the math. First things first, let's talk about cycle burn, because this is where value actually shows up. You see, on ICP, in case you are a new viewer to the channel, running software is going to cost you cycles, and cycles are created by burning, you know it, ICP token themselves. Now, let's talk real quick about how cycles are going to be used, and let me give you an example. Let's say you as a user are going to open an application, use it for, let's say, I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes, an hour, and then you are going to close it. That burns some cycles, but not necessarily that much. On the other hand, an AI agent is like complete different for a couple of very important reasons. Number one, it actually runs 24/7. Number two, it checks data non-stop. Number three, it rewrites code constantly. And number four, it optimizes logic. And finally, last but definitely the not least important difference, it trades, monitors, and also executes constantly, again, 24/7. And that, my friends, is called continuous compute. So if AI starts self-writing applications and deploying them on ICP, I think it is fair to argue that the demand for computation is not going to just grow in like a linear way. No, it is going to absolutely compound, and more compute is going to translate to more cycles burned, and more cycles burned naturally is going to translate to more and more ICP removed from the supply. And I would argue this is actually one massive step towards that big goal that Dominic Williams talked about. I think it was about maybe like 30-40 days ago, meaning implementing mission 70 hopefully by the end of the next year, essentially making ICP deflationary. Or let's just say this, I don't even expect ICP to get deflationary in the next year. Let's just hope that we are going to reduce the rate of inflation to, I don't know, maybe like 0.5% to maybe 1%. And if we do so, you know what, that's just absolutely fine by me. I don't really mind that, like a small amount of inflation. And believe me when I tell you, don't even believe me actually, just go and look at the comment section of every single ICP video. A lot of people are actually talking about the inflation issue in internet computer, and once that problem is going to be gone, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really think that anybody is going to have any excuse being bearish on ICP. Why is that? Because, simple reason actually, there is currently no tech, and I really mean that, go do your due diligence. There is no tech that is matching ICP in any area that they are working on. And do you honestly believe such a project is absolutely worthless and the price of the token is going to go to zero? I'll be honest with you, I am actually going to disagree on that a little bit. I don't really think that ICP is some worthless token. No, just because the price is going down though, doesn't necessarily mean that we should be overwhelmingly bearish and basically talk about all the problems that they have. Sure, there are absolutely problems. I'm not arguing that, but I'm just trying to argue this. When ICP was somewhere around $15, we also had the same problem. So why was it that not a lot of people back then at least talked about these types of issues? Meaning what? I'm gonna say right now, actually for the right reasons, I would say mainly a lot of people are frustrated with the whole crypto space, and prices constantly moving down in the last, let's say, couple of months generally does bring the worst out of a lot of people. But it's actually in these types of moments where you have to be consistent with your decisions and pay full attention to data and fundamentals. If you think that ICP is a bad project, you know what? That's absolutely fine. You should sell your tokens and then go invest in some other projects. I wish you nothing but complete success in your future investments. But if you think that ICP is a good project, and I am actually in this group, then okay, I'm just going to buy the dips one by one. And who knows, maybe even we have hit our final low. But let's just say this, let's say even we are going to have some more downward price action. From my POV as a fundamental and fair value investor, this is just going to be more and more buying opportunity. And the market that ICP is right now targeting is just so huge and magnificent. And there are a lot of revenues in this area that even if ICP is like going to attract, let's say 10% of the adoption, then okay, even those revenues are going to be absolutely insane. And again, in my view, all of these things are going to, in the long term, show themselves in the price of the token, which I do think it is going to appreciate big time. But again, sure as hell, at least in the short term, we're not having those types of nice situations. Now, if you remember, the last time that we talked about ICP, we were somewhere around these areas, and the idea was that we have to go up from these regions and going down and taking this specific low around, let's say $2.9 was essentially not negotiable. Why is that? Because in terms of Helios waves, if you want to be bullish on any chart, and for example, you want to argue that we're going to have our final low around here, then okay, you have to be able to find off of the lows a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the upside, and followed by that a bit of a consolidation pattern, let's say like a correction down in form of, for example, an ABC zigzag. Now, this specific scenario is called an impulse. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave or wave 3 in here should not be the smallest wave. And I do not believe that even if we are bullish in ICP, we are having such a structure in the recent phase up. No, I think we are actually better off considering our primary scenario as some sort of, let's say, like an expanding leading diagonal, which looks like this. This is our initial move up into wave 1. Correction for wave 2, big move up into wave 3, which this thing has to be bigger than 1. Correction for 4, it's going to be bigger than wave 2. And also, unlike that impulse that I showed you earlier, in here, we must have overlapping of the waves between our wave 2 and 4. And this is our final move up into wave 5. And it has to be the biggest wave in this structure. And for our sub waves, I think you know it if you are a regular viewer of the channel. We're going to have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. And for our corrections for wave 2 and 4, we can consider different possibilities. Let's say ABC for 4, and also let's argue ABC for wave 2. Now, let's go on the live chart and see what is going on in this region. So here's the deal. I might be able to find 5 wave in this area, also another 5 wave in here, but what I am not able to argue is this. I'm not going to be able to show you 3 sets of 5 waves in order for me to be able to say, you know what, on a higher degree, we have completed some sort of a 5 wave, meaning the bottom is set. No, the best that I have is this. Maybe this is going to be, 5 up into 1, correction for wave 2, big 5 wave up into wave 3, correction for 4, followed by that, hopefully, we're going to have another great move on the upside into wave 5, which has to be larger than our wave 3 right in here, meaning ICP is basically going to go, if the scenario is in play, to somewhere around, let's say, 3.8 to about $4 area. Now, here's the situation. I want to be very clear, this scenario at the moment at least is not really confirmed yet. And in fact, the invalidation point for, I'm going to say, any type of bullish possibility in ICP, in case you want to say this point is our final low, is going to be taking, again, this important low about $2.9. So if we get one more move down and in it we take the loss, at that point, expect a continuation of this move up in order to bare minimum take the lowest low in here as well, about, let's say, $2.7. But I think we may end up going a little bit lower than that. For example, if from here we want to get our move down, maybe at that point, this is going to be like ABC down into 1, ABC into wave 2, ABC down into wave 3, ABC for 4, and then another move down into wave 5. And this maybe is giving you like a $2.50 ICP. But right now, since we haven't taken the lows in here yet, okay, let's be optimistic. Question, what is it that we need to see in here in order for us to talk bullish with a bit more confidence? It's actually 2 things, and we talked about it in the previous video as well. Number 1, we want to see ICP going up in order to at least, I'm going to say, get to about the higher band of this important level around, let's say, $3.50 area. And then if we see in an ideal scenario in here, ICP consolidating above it, followed by another move on the upside, it is going to be awesome because this is showing you that bulls are actually back and they do have a good bit of power. So hopefully at that point, the bottom is going to be in. Sign number 2 that we need to see, and I think this is actually going to happen early if it is actually going to happen and if the low is already in, is going to be a break of this importance line right in here. And by breaking it, I mean we go above it, do a slow pullback, and then get a continuation of the move up in order to take this high. And when we do this, at that point, we can say, you know what, in ICP, we have confirmed a beautiful head and shoulder structure like this, which is, let's just hide everything. There we go. Let's put the chart on regular and then measure the height of our pattern in order to find out what's the target going to be. Let's put this at our breaking point. Let's say we're going to break it right in here. This is giving you about like a $4.1, $4.2 ICP bare minimum in the short term, meaning you can expect something like a 30-40% move on the upside. And this is definitely not that bad for like a short term trade. As long as, on the other hand, we are not having these signs, I think it is still best for us to be just more and more patient and see what is going to happen in this region. Okay. In my view, this is not necessarily a trading opportunity. And even if it is actually trading time in ICP, I'm going to say this. I think we are actually having better charts out there. So for example, in my second channel, I talked about Polygon and Litecoin, and I said their charts actually look good. And I also told my viewers that I'm taking some long position on them. So again, I don't really think that ICP's chart, at least in the short term, in this area, looks better than Litecoin and Polygon, which in them we do have clear-cut bullish setups. And in ICP, like, do not get me wrong, we can be bullish, but we have to see a move up in order to confirm that this head and shoulder is confirmed first. And at that point, yes, absolutely fair enough, we are going to be optimistic with more confidence. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in internet computer. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.